Just a fair warning. Real professional episode on our part. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't get nothing to work, man. So throughout this episode, there's a couple little audio hiccups and whatnot. Just figured I'd give you a little warning. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Hospital.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Because I maybe should have told this on the fucking pod. Because
It's back on. We're back on. We fucked up. Welcome back to bowling night. Colby's in the middle of a story. If you want to hear the rest, I don't know if we're going to put it at the end of this public episode or if we're going to put it at the end of the Patreon episode, but we're going to do something.
I don't know how we're gonna. Yeah, because you were like mid story too.
I am, but I know right where I'm at, so you go.
All right, it'll be quick. So the night that Grace and I end up having the baby, and go out.
Yeah.
And they text me. They're trying to get me to go out, and I'm like, nah, like
Just
it's a little
double-checking.
icy out. Like it's probably not smart if I have to come back for whatever reason. And Grace starts having the baby. Like we're 2 weeks away. Not the best idea. Grace is then telling me, no, go out, go have fun, go hang out, whatever. It's gonna be fine. All this stuff, and I'm like so close to going, and I don't end up going.
Yeah.
That night, she ends up going into labor, and we go to the hospital and have the fucking baby. Had I gone out with them, their excursions were like out to Portland. Pretty much all of them were like damn near blackout drunk. Came back to lose. Some random Latina was like, I want Kevin.
Yeah.
Doesn't speak a lick of fucking English. Tells the dude she's with, translate for me. Go tell this dude, or like tell this dude I think he's super hot and I want him. So the guy translate this to Kevin, and Kevin's like, I guess, whatever, like you're hot, so let's hang out. They're already fucked up, so
Yeah.
it's not great decision making. He doesn't speak any Spanish. So for the entire night, this guy, like her friend, and then Tatum and Caleb are translating for them. So it's basically a whole night now of those two hanging out and everyone else just sitting there drinking and then be like, blah, blah, blah. Like that, how boring would that be? But anyways, they end up staying the night at Tatum's. Nothing happens. They hang out again the next night. And they're texting the whole time. So when they're texting, she's texting in Spanish, he's hitting translate, texting back, and then she's hitting translate and texting back.
Yeah.
So other than that, these two could not communicate in person for 48 hours. And they spent 2 nights together. And I was like, that's amazing. I wish I would have been there. That would have been hilarious to see.
I was just going to say.
But I would have been just as fucked up. And then like Grace would have ended up having the baby. So that would have been awful because I would have shown up to the hospital with 3 buddies that are blacked out drunk and then some Latina that doesn't speak English and her translator.
That she's never met.
Yeah, and then her translator. It's like, and I'm also useless.
No, dude, you were just saying that. That's insane. But I mean, props to him, man. That's badass. I like that. He's like, we don't even speak the same way. I think she's hot. She thinks I'm hot. Perfect. No, dude, that is great. Yeah, okay. So I don't really know what else to even riff on about that one. But yeah. Okay, so we had to bail there for a second because the camera got fucked. Not the camera, the audio technically got fucked, but it's saying it again. It says right error again. But it says it's still recording now. I don't fucking know, dude. I feel like this is a
I know even less.
I feel like this is a cursed episode. It just said right error again, but it's still recording, so I think I'm fine. And we've been having I haven't swapped anything. We've been having great luck all of these times. Please subscribe to the Patreon, even though we don't know how to fucking do this, because if we got another guy, he could be watching these things for me, so I don't have to fucking pay attention. But I don't fully know what is going on with it, but it seems like it's going good, and I think I'm just going to have to fucking trust that it's working and keep calling it. Yeah, right before the camera ended, I was just talking about, so it's kind of, these people, until they see the end of it, they're going to be like, what the fuck was just happening? But I don't want to throw the bad audio up at the beginning because I think they're going to be like, this is
Tune
bad.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tune out. I was talking about on Tuesday night after work. I got off work at about 5 o'clock. I drove straight down from Tigard to Woodburn to go and try and slap these stickers on this van. I'm out there for about an hour. I've been working on them, and I'm like, cool. I am feeling good. It is now time for me to take an edible. I'm bored. I go into my car because I knew there was an edible in my car. I eat it. It's a 50 milligrammer. Okay. I don't know why, dude, because edibles like never used to affect me. Like those days in like 2019 when we were hard chilling, smoking weed all day in the shop, like I don't know why these things used to never work on me. And now when I take edibles, dude, I don't know if they changed the fucking recipe or what, but I'm like,
They upped the formula.
I get so high. And I'm like, well, I'll be here for a couple of hours. It'll be fine. I'm just doing these stickers. Pop it. I'm in like a 20,000 square foot shop, you know, like a big fucking building all by myself. It's dark. I eat this edible. The second I eat this edible, I continue putting on these stickers and I'm up on the back of the van. Like I have the back doors open because the logo splits right there in the middle. So I'm wrapping the corners like this and I'm like doing it. I'm doing it. And all of a sudden I just go out of my fucking body, you know, like gone, dude. And I'm like, the fuck, you know, like, and I'm tripping out. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna die right here by myself. Nobody's gonna even know I'm here, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck? But like, I'm pretty good with those types of things where I'm just like, dude, we've talked about it before. I took drugs to feel different. I feel different. Yeah. Somebody long ago told me that mantra, and let's just say he was an expert. You know what I mean? He was an expert at taking drugs. Tells me fucking, you just got to tell yourself, you took drugs to feel different. Now you feel different. That's why you're like this. Like, so I'm like, okay. And you heard me this morning. I was playing a little bit of LP, No Big Deal, back in the new metal era. Dude, I've been feeling Linkin Park lately. I'm listening to Linkin Park, and I'm just like doing these fucking stickers like, you know, and I'm in the zone. All of a sudden, I hear something, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I take out my headphones. Like looking around, and I mean, it's this huge building. I mean,
is it completely well lit, or like just enough light in like the area that you're working in for what you're doing, but there's shadows and dark places,
and shit everywhere because it's like their main office is up at the front where they have like all of the desks and all of the beautiful office like shit, but all of those lights are off. And then in the middle, there's kind of like these storage units almost. And then at the back half is like their actual shop, like the mechanic shop, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm in the middle section and I hear something and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And this happens to me all the time when I'm out there because I'm always out there by myself, pitch black at night. And there's always like one random person that like might just be there because they forgot their laptop at the office and they needed it right now, you know? Yeah. And I mean, you know, I'm always carrying my knife and shit. And I'm like, I have my knife out like this. And I'm like, tweaking because I'm on a healthy dose of edibles. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? You know, and I'm tweaking out because I don't hear anything. I'm like, sure, I'm just tweaking out because I'm on drugs. I feel different, you know. Pop the headphone back in. I'm doing the stickers again. I hear, and I'm like, no, dude. And I take the headphones out and I'm like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, like I said, I'm in the middle, but it's separated by these big doors. So I can see over there. The lights over here have been off the entire time I'm here. Now they're on. And I'm like,
I fucking love stories like this.
I am so fucking high, dude. And I'm like, even if it's just like a normal person, like, and it's one of the regulars,
I'm way too high for this.
Because they have a security guard that lives on the premises, and he does this to me all the time. He comes and scares the shit out of me, and I'm like, God damn it, you know. And I'm like, what up, man? How you doing? You know, I'm like, thank you for giving me fucking 5 less years on this planet. Like, every time you do this, it scares me so bad, you know. And so I'm like looking, I'm because he lives in a trailer, like a travel trailer on the premises, and I like look out the window and I see all of his lights are off. I'm like, shit, you know. But even if it's just one of the other employees, I start like panicking. Like, what if they come in here and they're like, what are you doing? You know, and I'm going to be like, I'm just doing the stickers, I swear. They know I'm here, you know, like.
With your knife out, and they're like, yeah, we don't know about this.
Yeah.
We think you're stealing the stickers and you're that high and cracked out.
I'm a meth head that's like, they got tired of all of the scrap aluminum. They're out there peeling stickers off. They're like, this is worth 14 cents on the open market, scratching my head and shit. And No, so I'm tripping out and I'm like, what the fuck? And I like walk in there, but I don't see anybody because I'm one of those guys. Let's just get it over with. Let me just go in there and be like, hey, I didn't
If they're
want
here to kill me, I want to die.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want the suspense anymore.
Well, yeah, and let's just get it over with. Like, hey, man, sorry, I'm in here. I didn't want to freak you out, since I had the lights on and shit. I'm like looking around and I don't see anybody, dude. And I'm like, whatever. And I go back into the like middle of the room and the lights go back off again because they're automated lights, So they like go off of like sensors and shit. And so I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck. But I'm doing the stickers again and all of a sudden, like they're off and then they're back on again. And I hear another noise and I'm like, dude, knock it off. Like seriously. And all of a sudden, like I'm looking over there, and as I'm looking over there, I see this guy with a vacuum, like, and he's backing up, and he's got both headphones in, and I'm like, I bet you that guy's high on edibles, doing the exact same thing. Like, I keep hearing shit, like losing it, and so finally, like, I'm like looking at him, and then I'm like, well, fuck, maybe he hasn't noticed that I'm here yet, but because I could see his AirPods, and so I was like, okay, but then it was funny because I was trying to like, because I'm so fucking high, dude. Like, I was just like truly trying to like, okay, don't set him off. I felt like I was in a video game, like when you have to do like the sneaking shit. I'm like, okay,
don't alert him.
Yeah, don't alert him.
3 bars.
Yeah, seriously. And so I just like, I wrapped up with the stickers and we ended up being all good. I never even made eye contact with the guy or waved at him or anything, but it was pretty fun.
What time is this?
I mean, when I was really losing it, it was probably around 7:45, 8 o'clock at night. Because I took it around 6 and it really kicked in around 6:45, 7. And then like a little bit of paranoia in between. So it was probably around 7:45. Like,
dude, I love that so much because I would be upstairs. Grace would be gone. Like before Jack, Grace would be gone all the time.
And that light would come on.
I'd be playing video games with my headset on.
Yeah.
And I'm also like bong rips in between every death. I'm playing Search and Destroy. I'm only alive for like 3 minutes and I'm dead for 3 minutes.
You're not even alive for
like,
that 3 minutes. You're alive for 10 seconds. I've watched you play Search and Destroy.
Like I am so fucking high. Probably beyond 20 rips within like the hour if you do the math. Like enormously high. And I was started like, because when we moved in here, we were still both working.
Yeah.
And this place is cheap. And so before I had to pay for everything, like I had lots of extra money, kind of like back when I lived at home.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm buying super good fucking weed.
Yep.
And I was going through it a lot too. So like it was finally justifiable for like about a month. And for a month, I would be upstairs playing video games and like a fucking crackhead or a drug dealer that thinks like a psychiatric person or something that thinks like the CIA's watching them or something.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
I forgot about that.
We got into this
Like,
on the last episode.
I'd like be playing and all of a sudden I'd take my head, like, I'm like, I start looking around and then I'm still playing the game. I'm like getting shot at and I don't care anymore. I'm like, I think I heard something. And I'd like look in every fucking closet, behind every door, behind the shower curtain, like 4 times in an hour. There's no way you can get locked in without going past me. But I'm like, maybe I was so locked in. Somebody broke in, walked past me, and was like, I need a shower. And so I kept checking. And then I'd open the blinds. And then I'd look down the stairs over there. And then I'd open the front door and look down. And I'm like, what the fuck? And here's the real fucking creepy part is I could feel footsteps. Like I could feel vibrations. And these places are connected. But the second story up there is not, there's no second story.
Yeah.
So there's no vibrations to travel to here.
Yep.
I would hear and feel the garage door open. There's a different feel to that than like a normal door opening or somebody walking up the steps or those steps. They all have their own sound and feeling depending on which set of steps and which door. And I know it all.
Yeah.
And I kept hearing doors open. Like I'd hear this door open, then this door, then the soft like footsteps going up those steps. Then I'd hear the garage door open and then footsteps going up the wooden steps. And I'd feel the vibrations and I'm like, like, this is not fake. I'm high, but I can feel this for sure.
Yeah.
Like somebody is around my property doing something. And I just get so scared out of my mind. Like I called Grace one time and I was like, when are you going to be home? Because I was like, at least if there's two of us.
I need a lady to protect me.
Well, here's the thing. One, if there's two of us,
Yep.
like we can have our backs together and watch. There's only, there's,
You watch that door,
we're
I'll watch
on the
this door.
second floor. So there's two entrances. I'll watch one, you watch the other. All right. The other option is like maybe while I'm walking around, they're going behind me.
Yep.
As I leave this room and go to check the other room, they're leaving. So she could be checking that. The other thing is fucked up, but like they're going to go for her before me. So they'll try and grab her and then I can get at them easier. Here's the other thought that I had. Like that's pretty fucked up.
They're going to go for her before
Yeah.
you're kicking her down out the steps.
Yeah.
Take her.
Yeah, exactly. So that was one thought. Or those were the first two thoughts. And then my other thought is like, and this is weird, but like if I'm out in the woods, like when Caleb and I were on our road trip, we'd be out in the middle of fucking nowhere, like either in the woods in Montana, 10 hours from anybody. Like we didn't even see other campers for like a day.
Yeah.
We don't see a car, nothing. We're just on back roads, whatever, like forest roads, that kind of stuff. Or like in the desert, we were in the middle of fucking Utah, like again, 10 hours. There's nothing but sand.
Yeah.
And you start hearing things in the bushes and you start seeing figures that like aren't animals. And then you know what animals are out there and they're small. And the things you're hearing, you hear all these sounds and you're like, all right, I'm used to that now. That's small animal sounds. Then all of a sudden you hear something, you're like, that's like 4 times as loud. There's nothing out here that big.
Yeah.
Who's camping that we didn't see? And you start to freak out. With Caleb, it was still kind of scary because it was like him and I will protect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And like we'll help protect each other, but we'll protect ourselves. Anytime I'm around, like if there's a kid around or if there's a woman around, I think it's like an instinctual thing. I don't have fear.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Like
yeah.
I have to protect Grace. So my body's just like, you have no fear. You're not scared of anything. You can take on whatever's coming out of there. If it's a bear, you can fight it.
Yeah.
You're not afraid. And like, if there's a sound, like we were camping one time and like, there was these real sketchy dudes that came up to our truck, like at sunset, they pull in and block us. And like, it's cliffs on all sides. And the only way out, they're blocking. One of them stays in the truck and one of them comes down to start talking to us. So I load my AR. Well, it was loaded, but I cocked it, I chambered it, and I put it under the pillow and I go, do not lay on this side so that if anything, I can grab my gun. And I go, also, just so you know, if anything happens, if he seems like he's pulling something out or if he's going to try and do something to you, like don't try and stop me if I go to get my gun. Cause like one of our friends had a situation like this in Portland with some sketchy dude and went to go pull his gun out and his girlfriend stopped him and the other dude had a gun. All right. So I was like, that situation was not too far before.
Tell me that one off the pod.
I will. So I was like, this is fresh. This was like days before. So this is in my head. And I was like, do not grab the gun from me. Do not do anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill this guy and I'm dumping the rest of the, like,
into that other truck.
I'm putting 3 in him and I'm putting 57 in that truck and that guy. Like, we're not taking chances.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 big guys, bigger than me, probably like 6'2", 6'3". One of them is like he's not in good shape, but like a heavy man. He could throw me around. Yeah. The other guy's a little skinnier, but still like 6'2", 6'3". Like probably because they seemed the same height in the truck. Yeah. And the other guy didn't get out. So it's just an assumption. But I'm like 2 guys, me and my girlfriend, not a good look. It's getting dark. We're trapped. So I'm kind of like, all right, this is weird. And he ended up.
Did you just say you and your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Weren't you with Caleb?
No, I was with Grace up on the hill.
Oh,
so I was telling her, like, do not grab my gun. Yeah. Like so-and-so did to our friend because that could end up bad. Like if he's pulling something out, I need to pull it out quicker and kill him. Yeah. Do not be like, oh my God. So yeah, he just
I had to get some Peter info. I'm like, God.
So this guy's like walking up, he's drunk, and I can tell he's drunk as fuck, and he's got a beer in his hand.
Yeah.
And so that, then it's a whole nother level of like, all right, it's clearly some like fucking ultra white trash dude out of his fucking mind. You're like, they could live out here.
Yeah.
You don't know.
They're the hill people.
Exactly.
The hills have eyes.
Exactly. So he walks up. He's like, we were up here the other day and we drove up a hill. Like we were doing some rock crawling. I like took a video of it and then I can't find my phone. Like, have you seen a hill? And I was like, dude, we're in the coastal mountain range.
Talking about a fucking needle in a haystack.
Yeah,
find
I
an
was
iPhone
like,
in the fucking desert.
what are you talking about? Have I seen a hill? We're on one.
Yeah.
There's one right there. There's 18 right there. 37 over there. What the fuck, dude? So already I'm like, okay, he's either so drunk that he's like, he's being for real and he's just this fucking out of it, or he's like out of it in a different way and like he's trying to make it seem like he's coming up nonchalantly of just, oh, I lost my phone, or like I'm looking for something so that he could get close before he does something.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to just figure everything out. And he comes up on Grace's side of the truck. And I'm like, and he puts his arms on the truck and she's laying in the truck because we have a mattress in the truck. I'm like, I do not like you being close to her. So I get out of the truck and walk around the back of him so that he turns around.
Yeah.
And I grab a beer. And I grabbed 2 beers because I opened one. And then I was like, well, I don't want to smash him with my good, like the beer I'm drinking. So I grabbed another beer and set it out. And I was like, I'm going to hit him with this one if he like tries to grab her. And then like, if I see the other dude get out, I'm jumping back in the truck, grabbing my gun. And like, there are a couple warning shots. And if you take one more step, you're going to die.
Yeah.
So all this is going through my head. Finally, this guy is getting like a little creepier and creepier. And I'm like trying to get rid of him. And I'm like, all right, yeah, like we're going to watch a movie and go to bed.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just saying stuff and will not leave. Eventually he leaves and I'm like debating whether we should go home or not.
Yeah. Cause you're like, I don't
They
really
know
want to
where
go to
we're at.
bed.
I don't want to go to bed, especially because we're sleeping in the back of my truck, like with no top. It's not like I have a canopy.
Yeah.
So we're at least like have a little bit of like time that like they couldn't really sneak up and get us right away. They'd have to like break a window or try and open something and it'd be locked.
Yeah.
So like not a great situation. So anyways, I don't even know how the fuck this started. How did we get on this? Oh, out in the middle of nowhere, like random shit.
I was
whatever.
doing the stickers.
Yeah. So like when she was around, like I was worried about the situation, but not for 1 second was I like afraid of my safety or like, what do I do? I was just like, all right, if this happens, I'm doing this. If this happens, I'm doing this. Like full protection mode, no fucking fear.
Yep.
So if she's home, then like all the scary sounds no longer are scaring me because now I'm in protective mode.
I do understand that because I get the same way with Abby where like if I'm walking in from my shop by myself and I'm like super high and stoned, I'm like, I have my knife out. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking, what was that? And like all of this shit. And then if I have Abby there, then it's the same way where it's like, I gotta be tough, man. I'm the man. I'm big and strong.
Yeah.
I'll protect you, babes.
It's funny how like the human body just does that. But
Yeah.
it's dope too.
It is because that's why it's like succeeded for so long is because, God damn it, we're back on.
Without even trying.
We always joke about how the end of the podcast, always, 1 million years ago, we had to wander out of the caves to keep her safe. Every time, dude, that's so funny. Well, you were kind of talking about trips and you were talking about planning trips and stuff. I'm very excited to try and go to the Kill Tony show in May.
I'm so stoked for this. Because this is the first time I've ever like, I don't know if you went, but like Ethan, Tanner, Julian, they went to Vegas.
Yeah, I remember that. No, I didn't.
And like, we've never really had like a guys trip anywhere. So I'm so stoked that finally like we have a reason other than like just going for fun.
Yeah.
Because then, half the people aren't fucking coming.
Yeah.
And so like now there's a reason. So it's like,
that's what I'm saying.
all right, we're going to have the fucking boys in another town. Let's fucking go.
I got to guilt trip the rest of them. Like, it's my day. You guys are coming.
Well, and what's so funny is like anytime anybody's tried to plan even a night of everybody, like the whole group hanging out or a surprise party or a New Year's Eve party, a Thanksgiving party, like anything, it's always the worst. The only time it's gone okay is like the 2 Thanksgivings at Griffin's because Griffin's a man. He's an adult.
He's an adult
He
and
just-
a pain in the ass. He's like, are you guys bringing appetizers?
yeah, like
You're like,
he's
dude,
gonna get it figured
it's
out.
6 weeks from now. We'll figure it out later. And he's
Yeah.
like, nope, we need to figure it out.
Exactly.
You're
Like,
like,
that's the
"Fine,
only time
okay."
our group does anything and it just kind of works.
See,
Every
and
other time, we can't plan shit.
I'm gonna hit that attitude today in the group chat because
That's the way you gotta do it.
wanted to order them last night, but I need to just message everybody. Okay, today is the day. Please send me money right now. Let's
and if
get
you
it done.
can't, just tell
Let
me,
me-
you'll
yeah,
send
let me-
it payday and then I'll order it so that we just know who's going.
Because like you were talking about, like planning ahead, like that's exactly what we need to do with this one. We're gonna order those tickets and then we need to go ahead and order the Airbnb. But I think the Airbnb is gonna be pretty fucking cheap. Like I was doing the math, even on like $600 ones, you know, if we had 6 people go, it's $100 a night. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and
Which is,
and a lot of them
especially for the length of the trip, is fucking easy.
a lot of them were like $400 or $500 a night. And I'm like, if actual all 8 people in this group chat go, it's like $48 a night. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
And even the people who
or $60 a night, I guess. But
like the people who were kind of saying like, oh, I don't know about money and stuff, live at home.
yeah,
So I'm like, I know we can all make it work if we just actually plan it.
Yeah.
Like I know it's so feasible,
Like,
and it won't be that
spend
expensive.
$100 this month, spend $100 next month, and then spend another $100 next month, and we're good.
Like, Caleb, just don't order Japanese candy for 1 month, and you've got it.
No.
You've got your funds.
He's the only one that's agreed and said he's got me on Tuesday.
I know.
You and Ethan are the only other ones, but I still got to get Tanner and see if Griffin's actually going to come. I feel bad because I didn't invite Corey, so Corey, you are invited. I probably should add you to the group
Oh,
chat
fuck.
if you
Yeah.
wanted to come. He's a little bit harder. Love you, buddy.
Yeah.
He's like, well, my tax refund isn't big enough this year. I'm sorry, Corey.
I don't even think he gets a tax
No,
refund.
he does because he doesn't work. My older
You get
brother,
a refund for not working?
my older brother is getting like the biggest refund in the whole house because his prison wages were like $68 for the year. He gets to claim like indigent or whatever.
I wonder how the fuck that shit
If
works.
you make
I
like
just didn't.
if you just make less than $600 in the year, the government is like, I don't know how you're doing it, man. Here you go. Here's some extra. Like figure it out. Like
That's pretty fucking funny. I was gonna say, Chris and I were like, dude, how much? We were just talking about refunds and stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm hoping. Like, I've been getting like $1,500 every year. I think this year I'm hoping to get like $2,000. And
sorry, and I guess I should be bleeping their names out.
it doesn't fucking matter. And then Tawny, well, especially Tawny, it's not his real name. He goes by Tawny, Tane, or Tony.
Yeah.
It started with Tawny, but people would be like, Tony? And I'm like, no, Tawny.
Yeah.
But it's spelled Tane. So they would see the spelling and call him Tane. He would tell people to call him Tawny, and some people would still call him Tony, thinking that's what he's saying. Like, they thought he's saying Tony with an accent.
Yeah.
So now he just started writing Tony on his tools. And I saw it one day, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, people keep calling me Tony, so I just changed it to Tony. And I was like, all right. And I just think that's like the funniest, coolest thing ever, because you have all these people that get so upset that you can't pronounce their names. And it's
Yeah.
like, you're from a fucking foreign place. We don't pronounce those vowels like that. Like,
Yeah.
how do you expect us to just fucking get it? And he's like, I changed my name 4 times. Just whatever you want to call me, I'll go by. I don't care.
Listen, if it starts with a T, I'll listen, man.
Exactly. But he was saying he got like 8 or 9 grand, and we were like, what the fuck?
But he probably
And
got kids
he's
and
got, yeah. And so now I'm like, I wonder I wonder how much I'll get from my kid now. So I'm a little stoked for this year. I also don't have any money to pay for my company's
I
taxes.
was just gonna say, I'm sorry, Colby. You are recording that you're making extra money on the sides, right? Like through your company.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
But
fine.
I don't have the taxes for that. Cause like I had, and it's not much. I probably will owe like $5,000 after
much?
I count for like
Yeah.
all the expenses, and like no one's gonna see this, so I'm kind of like fudging it a little bit. So like it's kind of like Well, it's not really fudging it, but like
know
I'm
what you
being
mean.
very meticulous at like every fucking penny that I can write off and is an expense of the company. I'm like, I'm making that for sure.
I do the same
And
thing.
so I'm like, all right, I've technically, in the eyes of the IRS, I will have made this amount. So I should probably pay around this amount.
Yeah.
I don't have that amount because I did for a period of time. But in between me working for myself and me working for my dad, I like tried to keep working for myself. And so I paid my bills and I tried to get more jobs and it didn't work and I wasted all my money.
Yeah.
And then now I don't have the taxes. But it shouldn't be too much and I think I'll be fine. Anyways, I'm super stoked for this year to see what I get. And I'm hoping it'll kind of be a little healthier to kind of offset that
Well,
shit.
with having the kid, I do think that maybe you might be able to actually.
I think you get like $1,500 a kid or something. I'm not joking.
Start racking them up, dude.
I know.
At
Well,
18.
fucking unluckily, she only wants 2, so I want 3.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of in that same boat where every year, like, oh, here we go, it's tax refund season, I'm gonna get my refund, and then I enter in all of the side income that I've made, and I don't pay a dime in tax. Like, you can do it better. Like, if you can record your business's shit monthly or quarterly or whatever.
Well, and
think
I
you can do it
sort of
monthly and
did. Like, I
quarterly.
know pretty much what I should pay. I kind of stopped keeping track, like, after summer.
Yeah.
Because I just kind of, I don't know, I kind of gave up. I was like, I stopped keeping, like, absolute track. But for a while, like, I knew exactly how much I should have paid. Because, like, I account for it, then 35% for self-employed and whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm in the same boat every year. Like, I go to fill out my taxes and I'm like, sweet, I can't wait to pay them $4,000. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know? And then my parents get all pissy with me and they're like, we're paying 10, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, we can both complain equally here. You make significantly more money than I do, but my dad does the same shit where he does a bunch of side work and records it, you know.
Well, I was going to say, I was like, why do they pay? Like, they have W-2 jobs. So I was like, what?
Yeah.
But I have heard about people who have W-2 jobs
And they're just
that, like,
tax
they
bracket.
set their,
Like,
they, they set their deductions wrong or, like, on purpose. Like, they're like, I want all of my paycheck.
Yeah.
And I'll worry about the taxes later.
yeah. Some
And then
people
at
do
the end of the
that.
year, they fucking have to pay.
Yeah.
And then they,
I'm
like,
the
they pay
opposite. I
monthly.
always make them take whatever it is. It's either filing as a 1 or a 2 or whatever. But
I used to file a 2, but
Yeah.
then I was like, okay,
take as much taxes as I can.
at the
out of my
end, I was
check.
getting such big refunds, and like my month to month, I was like, I kind of need a little more money, and I can't make more money at this job right now because I was like, I don't know, 18, 16, whatever. I was working like regular jobs in high school, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want like an extra $150 so I can buy weed and shit. So I'm just gonna like take it down to 1. And then I got a smaller refund, but I still didn't owe any. I still got a refund.
Yeah.
But then like, or maybe I have it backwards, but I went
If
from
you
0
can-
to 1
If
maybe.
you can at least zero it out where you don't end up paying anything, that is a win to me at the end of the year. Because for the last 4 or 5 years, I haven't. Every year I've ended up owing like, or because I've always really had a job, like another job, like a W-2 job, like you're referring to, and so I've kind of always been in that situation before I started like making more. And it was always like, okay, well, I didn't make anything, but I only had to pay $200 because they're taking so much of my taxes out of this job that it kind of compensates for the other one. But I charge more now and I do a lot more stickers now. And when I did my invoice, I realized, fuck me, right? I've just been leaving like 6 stickers off of each van that I've been doing for the last because I copy and paste my invoices and my bills. And so, like, I have never charged them for a website on a van. And, like, I charge pretty good money. Like, off of my most recent bill, I made, like, an extra $400. Because I actually charged them for everything that I did.
And so you said for how long you weren't charging for that?
Well, every time I've done a van for the last couple of years.
Oh, that sucks.
No big deal.
That sucks when you realize shit like that.
Well, and when I sent in the invoice, she was like, if I can get it approved, I'll get it cut. I'll get the check cut for you ASAP or whatever. And I think she was like, if I can get it approved, probably because she was like, oh, why is this one more money? And then I think whoever is really watching mine was like, fuck, he finally realized.
That's awesome.
That's why you don't do bills on drugs.
Yeah. Dude, I didn't do... So this isn't as bad, but like... Because I would make sure to charge for fucking everything.
Yeah.
I was very meticulous. And like, I wasn't on drugs. I wasn't on drugs most of the time.
I'm not on big drugs. I'm just smoking weed. Like, that looks about good. I'm happy with that money. Send me the check, baby. And then I was like, wait, I could have charged it more.
I got shit.
Because I made like a pricing guide, and I got the pricing guide approved. So it's like, boom, right off the pricing guide. It's this size. This is what it costs you. Like, I don't have to get anything approved anymore. It's just, But yeah, it's just leaving a bunch of them off.
And I'm sure whoever's doing that at that company is I mean, they get paid to do that. They are very detail oriented. They're probably like, we're getting some website stickers for free. All right.
I don't even think so, though, because they are such a big company. And I think that's why she started writing my checks like that, like where she's like, come pick it up today. Because she said that last time. She was like, yours are the smallest invoices out of anybody.
You're like, yeah.
I mean, imagine their fuel bill. Dude, they do heavy machinery excavation.
Yeah.
Driving the big-ass fuel trucks filled with 1,000 gallons or whatever out to the job site and filling every scraper and track hoe up with like...
Well, and paying either... I don't know how they do it, but like the semis to deliver or however they do it.
To take the gravel and dirt out because they run like they have their own trucks, but they only have like 12 to 15 dump trucks.
Yeah.
And they've got a million jobs going on all the time. The amount they're paying like a said excavation company to just bring their trucks over every day and fill it up, and go take it to the dump pile, like. My bills, I don't think I think they're, a fucking fraction. Like, I don't even think anybody's
checking. 1%.
I don't even think they're checking. They're just like, fuck it.
Just pay them.
It's easier.
Anything under $5,000, they're like, just sign it. Don't take the time to investigate and like waste our time or waste like the money that we have to pay you to check in on it. If it's under $5,000, just pay that shit.
Just pay that shit.
Well, that's how like a lot of big companies work, and that's how this dude stole. I think it was like $8 million or something crazy from Amazon or something. Like he was writing them checks. Like he just was he would mail checks to the Amazon headquarters in Washington, and it was like checks for like. I forget what it was, but like janitorial services or like stickers or like on trucks, like something small where they're like, yeah, this is something we do. And we sign a lot of these. So the person who was getting them, like, and the dude happened to like somehow get an invoice or whatever from them and like copied it and just kept sending it to him.
Yeah.
So every other week he was sending them invoices. And after like $8 million, they somehow realized it and were like, oh, like, this dude never did anything for us, but because it was under like 35,000 or something every check, they just would sign it. They didn't investigate unless it was like over a certain amount. So every bill they were getting, they were just signing it without even fucking looking.
That's what I think.
And he went to jail eventually, but like that fucking good idea.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat, but I am actually providing a service for him, so I won't ever get in any trouble. I'm allowed to charge whatever I want to charge, But, and I mean, they know the prices and everything, but yeah, it was just funny because I was like, God damn it, dude.
Well, so what I was starting to say was like, what I would do is like any bigger job I was paid correctly for.
Yeah.
I was paid, I guess I don't know. Like some jobs I'd be like, all right, it's going to take 2 days. I'm going to charge this amount. And then I'd get in there and like something, I would just like completely space one part of the job. And it's like the most time extensive part of the job where it's like mudding.
Yeah.
It's like you have to mud it, wait for it to dry. Mud it, wait for it to dry. Mud it, wait for it to dry. Prime it, wait for it to dry. Texture it, wait for it to dry. Paint it, wait for it to dry. And you're like, oh, that's 8 fucking hours. If it actually dries, like with fans and heaters, if you can get it to dry quick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my fucking God. I just missed like $800 right there.
Yep.
I'm like, motherfucker. So like that shit has happened like once or twice, but after like a couple times I was like, like I'm never doing that again. Cause then I'd be on the job and I'd realize it and I'd get so pissed off that I can't fucking finish the job. And so now it's taking even longer to get done because I'm just thinking about the money I missed out on.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, well, it took 4 extra hours because I was thinking about that. Now I missed out on $1,200 fucking dollars. Like, God damn it. So I'm really pissed. So like I got that under control. But then I started doing like a bunch of like kind of service checks or like handyman stuff. So I was like, all right, for me to show up, if you're within like a 30-minute drive, I'm going to charge you $75.
Yeah.
If I'm there for like an hour, then it's $125.
Yeah.
And then every like half hour after that is $75, and every hour after that is another $100. So I'm like, that's how it's going to be. So I would go out and like do something for like 2 hours. But it's so quick that I could do 3 jobs that are like an hour on Monday night. And then again Wednesday night and Friday night. So I would forget. And like I didn't have anything other than the text between these people. Because they're like, hey, there's a small leak. Could you come out?
Yeah.
So there's no paperwork, invoice, nothing yet. I just go out to see what it is. And I'm like, oh, like I can fix this right now. Let me just do this real quick. I happen to have a screw or this or plumber's putty or plumbing tape, whatever.
Yeah.
Let me just do it real quick. And then I'm like, all right, like when I get home, I'll get on, because I can do it on my phone, but it's a pain in the ass. So I'm like, I'll send you an invoice when I get home. Well, I stop at 2 more jobs on the way home. Then I come home and fucking whatever's going on, so I forget. And then I finally have some time and I'm like, all right, I go through my text and I think I found everybody. And then like every once in a while, somebody would text me and be like, hey, it's been like 4 months. I didn't get an invoice. And they want an invoice because they're little Jews and they want to fucking put it on like, you know, cost of having a house, whatever, like on their taxes so that they can write off $125 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'll send you the fucking invoice. And then I'm like, oh shit, how many of these did I miss? And I like went back through and realized like I missed so many. And then I was like, I don't even really feel right about texting these people and asking for the money because it's been so long that they're going to be like, didn't I pay you? Like, why are you asking now? Are you trying to get double payments? And I don't even want to do the back and forth.
I've done that too.
So I'm like, all right, well, there goes however fucking much money. God damn it.
Dude, that is the worst. See, I finally started charging. I do the exact same shit too, because I do it 2 different ways. Like, I have that approved pricing guide. Sometimes I'll just make it cheaper than the pricing guide because I'm like, man, that seems like a lot of money for that. But it's like, dude, a company is just going to charge you that. Like, that just is what it is. Like, I know that I can, because, and I've heard people talk about this before, and I think it's really valid. Like, I see this one guy that talk about it all the time, but like, just because I can do something in 20 minutes, because I literally have been. I mean, I started doing stickers in like 2015. I've been doing it for like 10 years. So just because I can do it just as good, if not better than everybody else in 10 minutes, and it would take them 2 hours to do it,
I still want to pay for the 2 hours.
I still want to pay for the 2 hours. Like,
yeah, because it's like, how do you charge for 10 fucking minutes? And then why would I do it? Because I don't make any money.
Yeah.
And then
and it's a hard thing to like, but
justify to people that don't do anything like that. They just go to their job, make their money, and go home. Yeah, they don't understand.
But it's like, dude, I have worked really hard at this skill. That's why I can do it so fast. Like, and then that's the other one that I started is when I got that pricing guide approved. I also like put that on there. This is for a brand new clean vehicle. If I'm cleaning the thing, or I have to rip off all of the old stickers, you're subject to a $50 an hour cleaning fee. Because there was so many times like that where it was like,
okay, I'm going to make $350 to throw the stickers on this truck. Well, I came out here and it took me 4 hours to get the surface like clean enough that I can put the stickers on. And now it's like, between that and then the material and then the time to put on the stickers, I'm making like $0.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm still making an extra $300 or $400 because I didn't have $300 or $400 and now I do. But it's like I'm missing out on
the hours
bunch.
to the money. Like it's not what I charge for an hour, and then I ended up doing all these other hours. So like I did make money, but technically not really. Like depending on I get what you're saying.
And so now I'm just like
frustrating
because I did that on that last bill when I realized that I had missed those other ones. There's other things on there that I was charging less than the approved amount for, and it's like, why am I doing this? Like I'm sorry, like you guys, and so I just like. Okay, this is it. I'm doing all of them to the exact amount that I have listed on that thing because you guys approved that a while ago. If you didn't want those prices, say no.
Yeah.
And you're right. I've been being a nice guy and giving you it for even cheaper for no reason. Like, just because I'm trying to like, oh, I love you guys. Like, and I do. Like, I want to keep their business as much as possible. But like, I think I could also just charge full price every time for the whole year, and then maybe I get you a little Christmas present at the end or something,
Yeah.
you know, to keep you. It's like, because I don't know, like I don't. Dude, I will say, itches. We had this one lady. Where are we at? We're at 47 minutes, and
That's pretty good.
Honestly, let's wrap it for the public episode because we have that stuff that we're going to throw in at the end there. So we are going to go record a Patreon episode for maybe 20-30 minutes. Please go and check it out. It's great. You can be like Sean H. We need a couple more people over there. So get over onto the Patreon and then we'll talk about it.
That was a bitch one. All right, while you're doing that.
There you go, Sean H.
I did the same thing with the hourly ones. Because, like, when you show up and they're like, hey, I have this leak, and you just, like, you're like, $75 for that? Like, that's, I kind of feel bad. And I'm like, I'll do 50. Like, I was on my way home. I didn't even have to veer off course.
There you go, Sean.
I was going to pass your house anyways. Like, I'll do 50. And then I'm like, I go over and it's like, 125. I've been crawling around inspecting the fucking crawl space and I can't find what's wrong. But not because like of my expertise, but because it's behind. I can't take stuff. Like if you want me to start taking stuff off, I can find it.
Yeah.
But I can't just know where something's coming from. Like I see it's coming from here, but there's no water line.
Yeah.
So there's a water line over there and over there. It goes in the wall, in the concrete. I don't know. And then I'm like, I kind of feel bad being like, all right, $125. I didn't give you an answer.
Yeah.
But I still spent time fucking crawling around and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
and you don't want to be in your crawl space. That's why you hired me.
Yeah. And so eventually I was like, if they call me out to do it, I'm charging the actual fucking amount. Like it was stated. That's what they expect. That's what it is.
Is what it is. Meet us over on the Patreon. We love you guys. We're out.
Suck dick like. I was gonna say Sean H. I was like, that's not nice. He doesn't do that. Why was I gonna say that?
We don't know exactly what.
Well, he might, but
just kidding, buddy. Okay, see ya.
That's good.
I haven't listened to the audio. For all I know, the last episode it might have sounded horrible.
We just don't change anything.
It didn't change it. It'd be like, oh, you get 2 weeks of that.
You get some 2 weeks of dog shit audio. Have fun with the echo.
Welcome back to another episode of the Bowling That Podcast. We are excited to be here. We are coming to you live bright and early in the morning, and Colby is going to hold this whole episode down because I ain't got shit to talk about.
No, fuck you.
No, fuck you.
Bright and early.
Bright and early. Drinking on an empty stomach. I was going to grab some Wendy's breakfast on the way over here, but I will tell you that actually is something I wanted to say. Sorry, I just fucking... That's all, folks, right there, guys. I hit the pig from fucking whatever. I was going to get some Wendy's breakfast, dude, this morning, but on Monday morning or Tuesday morning, one of those mornings, I decided to get some Wendy's breakfast before I went to work, and I decided to try Wendy's new item. Do you know what it is?
What is it?
It is a breakfast burrito. And I was like, ooh, I'll try the Wendy's breakfast burrito. I get the Wendy's breakfast burrito, and then I immediately realized, why the fuck would I order a breakfast burrito from somebody that has never served a tortilla on anything on their menu?
Just dog shit?
Dog shit, man. Let me just tell you, the tortilla was the worst tortilla I think I've ever had. And then on top of that, I am not a fan of mayonnaise, okay? Like,
mayonnaise in a breakfast burrito?
I'm starting to get a little bit better with the mayonnaise and being able to like accept it into my life, but like I've always had a hard time with mayonnaise. Their breakfast sandwiches all have mayonnaise on them and you can't really taste it. But dude, mayonnaise in a tortilla?
You know what's weird? Mexicans really like mayonnaise.
Really?
Yeah, Tammy loves it. And I always thought like, because black people make fun of white people for eating mayonnaise, calls mayonnaise monkeys.
Yeah.
Which I think is one of my favorite fucking terms. I saw it on Instagram one time. This dude was just talking shit and he's like, whatever you fucking mayonnaise monkey, go fuck yourself. Like something along those lines. And I just bursted out. I was like, what? That was amazing. But yeah, that is atrocious. I don't fuck with mayonnaise. I put a little bit on like a sandwich, but only if I don't have anything else to like wet it a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't eat a dry sandwich.
Do you think they're calling us mayonnaise monkeys because we eat mayonnaise, or do you think like it's kind of like a joke on like the monkey thing? Like it's like, well, you're a mayonnaise monkey.
Yeah, like they're monkeys and then we're white. So they're like, oh, you guys are monkeys too. You're just mayonnaise monkeys.
No, you're not.
We're all monkeys.
You're true. Well, yeah, you're right. We're saving the fucking prehistoric talk till the end of the episode.
I don't got any today. I got like some, but no, we're good.
45 minutes into an episode, every single time immediately derives into, well, 100,000 years ago. 100,000 years ago?
I know, as soon as you said that, I was like, what would that be?
1 million years ago.
100,000 years ago?
No, yeah, dude, I got the breakfast burrito though, and let me just tell you, do not get it. I think that is a no-go. Me and Tim did look it up because I was joking with him. I'm like, they don't even serve tortillas on any of their menu items, so I think they only brought them in for this.
I didn't puss in it, and they just fucking, they didn't like do anything other than just make it look white and then still sold it.
Yeah.
And then like all the cows' nipples and stuff were like super bloody and like pussy, and I was like, I don't think I need milk anymore. Like I'm sure it's not all like that, but now that I've seen it, I'm just like, no.
The same way
I'm good. I'm so good.
The same way that Instagram loves showing you someone getting shot on closed circuit TV is the same way they love showing you the worst animal you have ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you,
the chicken covered in shit.
Yeah, 99% of the time, I do not think that cows are like that. I mean, I've seen dairy cows. I've been around dairy cows. Like
all the ones I've seen in Oregon, good.
Yeah.
When I drove through California, like you could see how atrocious and like just the worst looking cow. And it was just brown. It's not even a field. It's just dirt with all, and it's really dirt and mud. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, you could see like their food, and it was just like not even like good hay. And then just anorexic cows, and they're all milk cows.
Yeah.
And they're all just anorexic. They're all like crammed together. They don't have room to like do a 180. And I was like,
yeah, that's definitely not good.
Yeah, that's not good. But like Grace's fucking family has cows and shit, and like I'd love to fucking squirt some shit out of that udder and eat a bowl right away. I feel like that'd be
just put your mouth right on it. Like Tom Green.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that video?
Might get a little far. I think so. Tom Green's the writer, right?
Yeah, he's like a comedian writer. He's done like a lot of movies and shit, but he used to have the Tom Green show and like in like the late 90s, and yeah, there's this one where he went to like a dairy farm and it just gets down on the ground and he's like
yeah, I don't know, that's a little much. I might do that to Grace and that's about it, just to like test it out, you know.
Have you tried it yet?
No.
There's a lot of podcasters that talk about it.
I thought about it like a lot. I just want to like, well, also I did say to her last night, I was like, wait, so when do I get my tits back? Like this kind of bullshit. And she was like, probably not till he's like, 2. Like that's when the milk will like stop coming and shit. And I was like, I'm gonna suck on titties for 2 years.
Well, you can.
You will.
You just offered it, dude, and I think you should. I mean, Colby, you'll grow like 2 inches. If you
I
start-
would love that. Dude, honestly, I might have to test it out.
There's a lot of HGH and shit in her belt, dude. She comes out at midnight and you're just like, she like wakes up. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You're like, "I'm trying to get big." I think somebody's calling you.
Oh, that's okay.
Who is it this time?
Caleb. Who was it last time?
Your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'll get him later.
Well, and what's funny is I didn't end up talking to him until like more than 24 hours later because I did not call him the rest of that day. He texted me the following morning. It was too early and I like went back to sleep, so I still did not respond. And it wasn't till like, over 24 hours. But I was like, fuck. He called me yesterday and then texted me, didn't he? I look, I'm like, shit. Hey, what'd you need? He's like, I was just trying to plan the work week. I'm like, fuck. Sorry.
Well, Drew texted like 3 of us last night. Anyone want to go work on a door in Hillsborough? And we were like, nobody responded. And I thought about it this morning, but like, this is not a valid excuse. I'm sorry to see this one, but I was supposed to come over to your house to record a podcast so we can make $4 a month. And I didn't end up doing that, and instead I took another bong rip, and then I just went right to bed. And it was a door lock. It wasn't even a full door, and I'm like, figure out how you can jam that shit shut for the night, dude.
They just needed to, wouldn't lock?
I don't know. I didn't like ask any further questions, but yeah, I think it was probably some business, and it's a 16-year-old dumbass clocking out of their biology shift, and they're like, the door won't lock! And then I'll drive all the way over there, grab the door, and shake it back and forth a little bit to line it up, and it will lock perfectly.
That, or they're just doing the wrong combo to like, for those, I don't know what those doors are called, but like the ones you guys put in at the church.
Yeah.
That shit confused me for the longest time because I'd put the key in and turn it and then push it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And some are that way. Like the old doors upstairs are that way.
Yeah.
These ones you like push in, then put the key in and turn.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And like, yeah, we were all three trying to figure it out. We were like, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying, is I bet you it was one of those. But to be honest with you, I didn't even respond, and then I went to bed. And I woke up this morning and I was like, maybe I should text him. But to be honest with you, I definitely don't want to go and work for 1 hour.
No.
I don't want to go work for 5 hours or 1 hour anywhere, to be honest
How
with
do
you.
they even like pay for the 1 hour? Is it just your normal hourly wage?
No, I would make like double time, probably.
Yeah.
But at 1 hour, don't get me wrong, like it's good money, but it's like,
Yeah. You're like, all right,
you have to pay me at least $300 to leave my house on a weekend for something that I don't want to do. Like,
yeah.
I'm going back to work, call them on Monday. Like,
how much are board ups?
Well, board ups, like, we don't really make the utmost of money on the board up. I mean, we charge way more than you think we would charge, and we get paid usually, I think it's usually time and a half or double time.
Because one time, Drew was trying to, I think like you and Tim were just not wanting to go out a couple times, and so they were trying to find other people that would go out and do a board up.
Yeah.
And he was trying to like incentivize me, and he was like, you'll make this much money, and I was like, that is nice money and all.
Yeah.
However,
I
have this other side work, like 10 different side work jobs that I just continue to put off, and I can text them at any moment
and go
make like almost 1,000.
Yeah.
So that's good money, but this is even better, and I'm gonna do neither because I'm a lazy fuckhead and I don't want to do anything.
That's what I mean. I mean, not like to me, like, because my parents did it to me last weekend. Because last weekend I was supposed to go and do van, and then I didn't, and I came over here and recorded a podcast. And then I went over and did it on like Monday and Tuesday. And they like said something to me about it on like Tuesday night or something. They're like, well, maybe the sticker should be before the podcast. And I was like, first of all, I am going to work every day at my first job. I am making a good, reasonable living wage if I didn't like just blow money all the time. I could literally just go live off of just that one job. And then on my weekend time, I decided to go try and do kind of another job because ideally we're getting more and more people. Hopefully, speaking of which, I came up with a good promo video, but whatever. And then on top of that, and so I said that, I was like, and then on top of that, yes, you are correct. I went and did my second kind of bullshit job that I'm really not making any money off of, but I like doing it. I like spending 1 day a week with my friends, which I don't think is that unreasonable. And then on top of that, I still got the third side job, the vinyl stickers, done after my first job, like on Monday and Tuesday. So yes, I'm a little bit extra tired right now, but why are you judging me right now? I'm like, dude, I still did all of this shit. Like I don't really want to go work on that. Like last night, I wanted to pull out all of this shit and try and edit the podcast and get them out. But it's like, and it's not that important, I guess, but like to me it is,
Yeah.
Like to me, this is just as important as doing those stickers.
But that's the thing is
it's just as important as going to my regular job, to be quite honest with you. And I know this one doesn't pay the bills, but this is the one I like the most.
Exactly. Like I was saying before, like there's that I could go do that $1,000 job and make money, but I would rather, like, I don't absolutely need the money, and although it's probably really stupid and I should go make that money and then do something smart with it,
Yeah.
I would rather do a podcast every weekend and like not do anything the rest of the day and kind of just relax. And now I kind of have like a baby, so it's different. But like regardless, I'd rather do the podcast than go make extra money I don't really need. Because eventually this could turn into something better. And even if it doesn't, it's still something I like to do a whole lot fucking better than that shit.
At least it's like fun. Like, and I don't know, like doing the work isn't that bad. And I mean, like I need to be better about that too. That's what I'm working on. Like I'm really trying to be like, okay, let's stop like fucking around and taking so long to do it. Because like the weeks of being like, oh man, I need to call them, like you could have had it done.
Yeah.
Like, and I do the same shit. Like the amount of time that I've thought about going over I could have done it by now.
Yeah.
And so I'm really trying to get better about that. But I mean, you're in the same boat. Like, even before you had the kid, now you have the kid, but you still have a lady. This is boy talk. This is locker room talk. They're gonna be pissed if you're gone all the time working. Because I get in trouble for it all the time. I got in trouble when I stayed up on Wednesday night or Thursday night to make the bill for the stickers that I did on Tuesday. And for the first time ever, Colby, I have no idea why. They have always been net 30. They always pay me like fucking a month or more later after I do the stickers. I have been sweet talking their accounts payable people over there. So like I sent over my invoice and I'm like, hello, happy new year. Here's my most recent vinyl invoices. As always, I hope all is well. I hope you're doing good, all of this stuff. And she's like, oh, thank you so much, Jason. Once I get that approved, I'll write the check for you. Or she was like, I'll cut the check ASAP. And I was like, no problem. And if it does make it any easier on you guys, I know where they're writing their checks. They're writing their checks 6 minutes away from my house. So I was like, if it makes it any easier on you guys and you want to just have me pick up the check, I'll just do that. And she goes, no problem, I'll let you know when it's done. 4 hours later, literally the same day I turned in the invoice, she wrote me my check. And I was like, fuck, yes. Dude.
That's nice. I hate waiting to get to
And she emailed me and she's like, it's ready. And I was like, thank you so much.
I'll be there in 6 minutes.
I wish though, because I was down in Northeast Portland. This is on Friday, and I had a job that was supposed to be at like 1, but I was running late from the job before that, and so I called the guy. He's like, well, what are my options? And I'm like, well, we could reschedule it to like another day, or maybe I could come out a little bit later, like, trying to see what he says. And he's like, well, yeah, maybe could you come out a little bit later? And I'm like, yeah, that should be fine, because he was my last job. But I was like, fuck, I don't really want to wait, What time? Well, maybe 3:30 Northeast Portland on the east side, fucking.
I'd be like, oh shit, sorry, my boss said something. I'd be like, nope, gotta do another day.
Like, yeah, that should be fine. This is a big job, storing windows for the whole house.
Okay,
and so I'm like, okay, yeah, sounds good, Well, it was funny though, because he says that, like, oh yeah, 3:30, and I'm like, okay, well, once I finished up with the job before that job, I had just enough time that I could drive back to the shop and sit there for 15 minutes and then turn around and drive the exact same spot that I was just at, or just wait. So I literally just went and clocked out at a McDonald's parking lot, and I just sat there for like 30 minutes. I was like, I'm just gonna chill here, like relax, lean the seat back a little bit. And so, but in the meantime, while I'm sitting at that McDonald's, I call my little sister, because she also lives 6 minutes away from the shop. I call her and I go, hey, you want to make $40? Because I want the check, you know? Yeah. And she's like, well, doing what? You know, she's doing nothing.
Yeah.
So as much as there's somebody on this end complaining, like, this fucker just said he could go make $1,000 any second he wants, he's not even going to do it. My little sister, unemployed. She's going to school, mind you, and she's doing great. She's a great person. But I'm like, you want to make $40? And she's like, well, I don't know. I'm in sweatpants, all of this shit. And then she goes, well, why don't you call Dad? Because my dad is most likely there. You know, he's not there all the time, but like there's at least a 20% chance that he is at that office because he works for that company too. And I call him and I'm like, yo, how's it going? He's like, not much, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm just waiting, you know, and I tell him the story. I'm like, yeah, for whatever reason, dude, they paid me day of this time. It's like, oh, that's awesome. He's like, is that at the Wilsonville shop? And I'm like, yeah, I just called Jenna and I offered her $20 to go and pick it up.
I'll give you $20 to walk downstairs and go get it.
Yeah, well, I offered her 40.
Yeah.
And so
You're like, you don't need the 40, you get paid.
I'm like, you make way more money than I do, and you're there right now.
Yeah.
He was gonna go pick it up for free, and I'm like, I'll give you the $20. He's like, cool, yeah, I'll go get it. And he's on the phone with me. He takes a check. He's like, you owe me $20. You know, I get back after all of my work and whatever. I get back at like 7 o'clock. You know, get back to the house, and my dad has my check waiting right there. I was like, hey, thank you very much. And I pull out that $20, and he's like, well, I didn't need it. You know, it's fine. You know, he's being a good dad. And I was like, are you sure? Because I offered Jenna 40 to go into it.
I thought he was going to be like, holding it over here like, you want a check? Jenna said you were going to give her 40. You told me 20, motherfucker.
I was hoping it was going to be that. But, and here's the thing. I'm a classy guy. I brought $40. But I love jokes, you know, and I had my dad like dying, you know, over all of this. And he was like, what the fuck? You know, you offered her 40? And I was like... And for the record, I did bring the 40. He's like, I don't want any of the money. You know, like,
yeah.
But it was funny. Like, and so yeah, dude, it was. I don't know how we got onto that like that, but
I have no fucking clue.
Oh,
something about like working, not making money. Then they paid you. You did stickers.
Well, the thing that I was going to tell you about those stickers, we could just migrate into that because when I went and did the stickers, I told you there was a decently funny story over there. So I got off work at like 5 o'clock, 5:15. I head straight from Tiger down to Woodburn to go and put these stickers on the van. I start putting the stickers on the van. I've been there for about 30 minutes, and I'm like, all right, it's about time. I've been here long enough. I go and grab.
Oh shit!
Oh, what's up?
I accidentally started calling Caleb because I clicked on the notification, but we're good.
Oh, okay. You good? Do you need to text him or anything? We can pause.
Hold on. No, I'm done.
Okay.
All right. Do we need to pause for that? Change batteries or something? What's it on? Are you gonna get halfway through the story again?
I don't think any of that was recorded.
No!
I mean, it was recorded
On
on
the
the
camera.
camera. Fuck!
Is it not even on?
No, it's on. It just says 9 hours and 1 minute, which is how much time is left on the recorder, like how much time I could like keep recording for. And I don't think it recorded. God fucking damn it. Okay, so.
Do you want to pause it?
Okay, I just pressed on.
So we don't need batteries.
I am gonna need those batteries because it's almost dead too. Dude, we're a fucking mess. This is why I need to be on drugs when I come over here because I get everything done correctly.
Is it 4?
Just 2.
Oh.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm pretty sure most of that audio was recorded through the camera other than when it did the weird camera shit early on in the beginning, which I'm so mad about. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and toss all of that at the end of the episode, I think is what we're gonna do because it's bad audio, but we have some people like Sean H that will listen to the whole fucking thing. Okay? Because that's what I do. When podcasts I listen to, their podcast audio gets fucked up, I still listen to it even when it's like kind of bad.
It's kind of crazy too, like some of the bigger podcasts that we will listen to, sometimes they're just off and you're like, why the fuck can I hear this person 3 times? Like, what did Alex do this time?
Yeah.
Because it's like flagrant.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was he doing?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on?
No. Okay,
But
so
we're not big.
we're gonna pause and then we're gonna restart real fast.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, this one's saying write error. What the fuck, dude? We're just all over the place today, man. That card doesn't want to write. This card doesn't want to write. Okay, well, fucking finish recording and doing your dumb shit, and then let's turn this off.